Let me tell you something about Michael Jordan. He's going to be brutally honest. And I don't think that he's going to be shy about saying what he sees at all.
Michael Jordan returning to basketball is no ordinary headline. This is the man who revolutionized the NBA, who transformed it into a global phenomenon, and who set a standard of greatness that remains untouched. Now imagine that same man stepping back into the heart of the league, not to lace up his sneakers, but to speak his truth. Stephen A. Smith has set the NBA world on fire with the revelation that Jordan is planning a major return in the 2025-2026 season, not as a player, but as a brutal, unfiltered commentator who will shake the league to its core. What does that mean for today's NBA stars? What does that mean for the so-called face of the league, LeBron James? You are about to find out. From calling out softness to exposing the lack of competitive fire, Jordan is not coming to pat anyone on the back. He is coming to tell the truth. And according to Stephen A., the NBA isn't ready, especially not LeBron. Make sure you stay locked in as we break this down. Quote, before we dive deep into this legendary saga, hit that like button, subscribe to NBA Showdown, and tap the bell so you never miss these explosive NBA debates. When Stephen A. Smith revealed that Michael Jordan will return in the 2025-2026 season with the intention to speak his mind, he made it clear that the basketball world is about to experience a seismic shift. Jordan has long been known as a competitor, a winner, and a cultural icon, but now he's returning as a commentator who intends to hold the league accountable. This isn't just a retired legend sitting courtside throwing compliments. This is Michael Jordan, the standard bearer of greatness, preparing to dissect every play, every attitude, and every star with brutal honesty. That means no sugarcoating, no friendly diplomacy, just raw evaluations of today's game. Stephen A. emphasized that when Jordan shows up, he is going to be brutally honest about each and everything. That honesty will expose players who have been coasting on hype, systems, or narratives. And make no mistake, this isn't just about role players, it's about the biggest names in the game, especially LeBron James. For over a decade, LeBron has been the face of the NBA, but Jordan's return may shift that narrative, because for Jordan, greatness isn't about stats or popularity, it's about mindset, dominance, and championships earned through grit. This return won't just be a television spectacle, it will be a moment of reckoning.
Let me tell you something about Michael Jordan. He's going to be brutally honest.
Stephen A. doubled down on his prediction, saying that the Michael Jordan he knows is going to be as candid as it gets. This tells us one critical thing. Jordan is not coming to make friends, he's coming to tell it like it is. The man who once dominated every inch of the court will now dominate every segment of broadcast television by revealing the uncomfortable truths about today's NBA. And for many current players, that should be terrifying. Why? Because the game today is far different from the one Jordan mastered. Load management, body ball, and the obsession with social media narratives are elements that Jordan never had to rely on, and he certainly never respected. When Jordan analyzes a player, it won't be about how flashy their highlights look on Instagram. It will be about who shows up when it matters most, who is mentally tough, and who folds under pressure. This is where the comparison between Jordan and LeBron will reach a boiling point. LeBron's legacy is constantly placed side by side with Jordan's, but now we're about to hear how Jordan feels about that comparison, publicly and unfiltered. And if Jordan's candid nature is as sharp as Stephen A. claims, expect fireworks, expect heads to roll, because Jordan has never been afraid to challenge the weak links in a system. And in today's NBA, those weak links are everywhere.
The Michael Jordan I know, when talking basketball, he is as candid as it gets.
When Stephen A. said Jordan would not be shy in expressing what he sees, he wasn't just hyping up a broadcast moment. He was sounding the alarm. According to Stephen A., if for any reason Jordan did hold back, he'd be in his ear pushing him to say what needs to be said. That's how serious this is. We're looking at a moment in NBA history where the all-time greatest player will not only speak publicly about the current state of the league, but will be encouraged to do so with no filter. This kind of exposure has never happened before. Legends usually take the high road, offering vague praise and polite commentary, but Jordan is cut from a different cloth. He has always believed in standards, and if the NBA has dropped those standards, whether through its rule changes, team building strategies, or leadership dynamics, Jordan will be the first to say it. This will put enormous pressure on players like LeBron, who have often been protected by their public image and media connections. Jordan's words will hit harder than any tweet or podcast rant because they are coming from a place of authority. authority. And Stephen A. knows that once Jordan starts talking, there's no turning back. The league will be exposed, and it won't be pretty.
And I don't think that he's going to be shy about saying what he sees at all. If he is, he's going to have to deal with me because I'm going to be in his ear telling him, oh, we getting shy now. But that's what we do. That's what we do. That ain't the one I named him MJ, I know.
One of the most damning admissions came when Stephen A. responded to Patrick Bet-David, who said LeBron had hurt the league. Stephen A. agreed, but not for the usual reasons. He clarified that LeBron's decision to join Miami and form a super team set a dangerous precedent. That move created a copycat league where players chose collaboration over competition. According to Stephen A., that was the moment when the NBA lost its edge. And guess who will say exactly that when the cameras roll? Michael Jordan. Jordan never ran from a challenge. He stayed in Chicago, took his beatings, and then conquered. LeBron, on the other hand, opted for shortcuts, teaming up with all-stars instead of building through adversity. That choice didn't just affect his legacy, it reshaped the entire league culture. The hunger, the rivalries, the pure will to win, they all took a back seat. And now that Jordan is returning to critique this new reality, LeBron's decisions are coming back into the spotlight. This won't be a petty feud. It will be a generational examination of what greatness truly means. Stephen A. made it clear, Jordan is coming to call out what has hurt the game, and LeBron's super team era will be at the center of that critique.
LeBron may have hurt the league. Fine, I can side with that. Not for the reasons you're articulating. The reason why is when he joined Miami. You had everybody trying to join with one another instead of competing against one another.
Patrick Bet-David's hope for toughness to return to the NBA echoes what millions of old-school basketball fans have been yearning for. In a league now dominated by friendlier rivalries, load management, and constant player movement, the soul of the game seems lost. When Patrick expressed that he hopes Michael Jordan calls out the players who are hurting the league, he hit a nerve that Stephen A. immediately supported. Jordan isn't just a retired player or a corporate figure. He is basketball royalty. His words carry weight that no other voice in the sport can match. If Jordan returns to the public basketball spotlight and begins speaking honestly about the softness and entitlement seen in today's NBA, it will carry a cultural force. This is not about shaming players for changing the game. It is about holding them to a higher standard. When Jordan played, the league had grit. It had pain. It had real battles. Players didn't choose each other. They chose war. Jordan calling out the decline of competitiveness, the overuse of rest days, and the obsession with social media highlights will sting because it will be true. Stephen A. knows that when Jordan speaks, ears will open and egos will bruise. And for players like LeBron James, who have played significant roles in this new era, the critique may feel personal. It's not that LeBron alone is the issue. It's that LeBron symbolizes the shift, a shift away from pure basketball toward performance management, marketing strategies, and narrative control. Jordan's return isn't just about evaluating games. It's about reclaiming the principles of the game itself. And that will not sit well with everyone in the league.
I hope we see a level of toughness with the game coming back, and I hope he calls everybody out.
Well,
I hope he calls everybody out.
Stephen A. Smith made a powerful clarification when he said LeBron is the second greatest player of all time. In his eyes, that sounds like praise, and it is. But the key lies in what follows. Stephen A. is tired of being accused of hating LeBron simply because he puts Michael Jordan above him. This frustration speaks volumes. It reveals that the GOAT debate has turned into a cult of personality around LeBron, where any disagreement is treated as disrespect. Jordan's return will cut through that fog. When he publicly evaluates the current league, the loudest reaction will come from how he positions LeBron. And make no mistake, Jordan is not coming back to validate legacies. He is coming back to speak truth to power. LeBron's accomplishments are incredible, and Stephen A. acknowledges that, but numbers are not the whole story. Jordan never lost in the finals. Jordan never went to form super teams. Jordan never declared himself the GOAT. He let his dominance on the court say everything. If Jordan now comments on what he sees in today's NBA and subtle or explicitly differentiates himself from LeBron, it will be the final word in a debate that has spiraled for over a decade. Stephen A. is preparing us for that possibility. He is warning us that the man who built the NBA's modern empire is coming back to remind us who truly defined it. And LeBron, despite all his greatness, may find that he was always the second best. Not because of hate, but because that is how history will ultimately remember it. Jordan does not need to prove anything. LeBron still feels like he does. And that is where the gap lies.
Is top 2 all time. Now, if you disagree, you disagree. Where I get annoyed is when somebody's acting like I'm hating or disrespecting because I got them too. The NBA started in 1947, goddamn.
Stephen A. dropped the hammer when he said LeBron will never be considered the GOAT by the majority of people. This statement is not meant to diminish LeBron's greatness. It is meant to underline the unshakable legacy of Michael Jordan. Despite all of LeBron's achievements, championships, and longevity, he still does not command the unanimous respect that Jordan does. And this is not just about basketball skill. It is about the cultural footprint each man has left. Jordan made the NBA global. He inspired generations to dream bigger, compete harder, and win relentlessly. LeBron, though iconic, has always lived in that shadow. Now, with Jordan preparing to comment publicly on the league, this comparison will intensify. Stephen A. understands that Jordan's presence alone will disrupt narratives, but his voice, his evaluation of the league, that will reset the conversation. LeBron may continue breaking records, playing at an elite level in year 22 and mentoring young stars, but when Jordan starts speaking, people will listen differently because this is not just a former athlete. It is the definitive basketball authority stepping into the modern discourse. And he is not going to say LeBron is the GOAT. He never has. He never will. And if Jordan confirms what Stephen A. just said, that LeBron will never be the GOAT in the majority's eyes, it ends the debate for good. LeBron's fans will scream, his defenders will cry bias, but the truth will echo louder because Jordan's words come from a place of earned supremacy. And when he speaks, the entire basketball world will have to confront reality.
Talked about or discussed with these guys is because this guy won 1 ring or won 2 rings or won, like, it's just weird to me. It's like saying Peyton Manning.
Michael Jordan is coming back, and the league will never be the same, not because he's returning to dominate on the court, but because he's returning to dominate the conversation. According to Stephen A. Smith, Jordan's return in the 2025-2026 season will be marked by brutal honesty, fearless critiques, and unapologetic standards. The game has changed. The players have changed, but the definition of greatness remains the same. Jordan isn't returning to compete. He is returning to expose. LeBron James, while still active and breaking records, will face the heaviest spotlight of all because when Jordan speaks, it will reveal everything. The differences in mindset, legacy, and impact. LeBron's GOAT campaign may have won media headlines and public sentiment, but Jordan's truth will dismantle it with a few words. The NBA may not be ready, the players may not be ready, but the fans deserve this, and they're going to get it. Jordan is coming, and he's bringing the truth.